Hey guys, I don't know how long I'll be able to be live, but I was getting ready to watch the Brooks Houck interview while I was up tonight. So I thought I would come live and do it. That way we could watch it together. Um, that and I just didn't feel like doing a video. It's kind of easier to go live through StreamYard here and just talk to y'all and be done with it. But I'm going to go ahead and start this. I'll be down in chat.
Ask me if I can clarify real quick for you.
Okay. 4 o'clock, Bluegrass Center.
But I don't know these. I put approximately on these before.
Yeah, that's it. I don't expect you to know exactly.
Yeah, no, there's no way for me to.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I was confused about because Kylie had said that she was gone before. She said she had told me that she was gone before you got back from the gas station and before Mom got home. But I don't think that's correct because her grandma said she picked her up about 7:30. So you guys were already gone from the house. She had to be there while y'all were there, right? Is this Friday? You ordered on the new construction on Friday?
Yeah, and I didn't put that order, but I put all that right there. The farther you go, the more clarified I get.
He sure does like to explain
I
things.
broke it down into segments.
Oh, these are the people whose house you were working on?
Yeah, all these right here are people that I'm overseeing, that I'm speaking or talking to. We'll just look at my phone to get my exact time. I got my phone in there, and that way you can build a timeline of all this stuff. That I do this every day, so me looking back, I had to know what time it is.
Right.
There's no way for me to remember that. I mean, you'll see the more that you get to looking through there, you'll see how much I've got in my head to try to keep up with.
Oh, Mr. Houck, so helpful.
That helped me, every one of them.
Okay.
Don't mind me and my son
comments.
saying.
The locations, and I did it in subdivision, so y'all know my vehicle, y'all know where I'm at, my phone and everything. Those are the numerical address, the street address, and this is the type of work that I've got going on past that hyphen mark. Those are the type of work I've got going on at each construction site. Every one of them is a separate job. And then this right here is for the whole subdivision, keep the Woodlawn Springs homeowner subdivision, the president and all the members, the committee and stuff on. I don't want to keep the subdivision looking nice, trash and debris and all that kind of stuff, and metal grates in the road, the curb and gutter and all that. And this is just kind of like a daily thing. I've got to go through this every day to keep everybody rolling and everybody happy. And this switches subdivisions. You see I put Copper Fields up here, and then these are the number of houses I got going out there. I've got different subs in different spots.
Does anyone else find it like weird how he explains himself. Like he didn't need to explain that. That's not pertinent to this. How many houses he's got down through there? It's just, I don't know. His behaviors are odd to me, and I always thought that from the beginning.
Sorry, that thing will go off pretty
That's
constantly.
fine. That's
I've got people all over the county too.
All right.
That was him. He's on his way back with your phone.
All right.
And I thought I had busy days.
No, I've just been used to the custom position. That's how I grew up.
Right.
You know,
Was your dad a builder?
my dad was a construction worker for CSX Railroad.
Oh, okay.
About 24, 25 years. I read a book when I was in high school. That's what started me doing this.
Him up there telling somebody about himself like he's interesting. Oh, makes me sick. He's sitting there right now knowing what he's done, knowing what's going on. He's still probably covering this all up at this point right here. All that going on in the
You know
scenes.
what those abbreviations are? Like Kentucky,
Lincoln National, Wilson Muir, Town and Country,
Springfield State Bank.
Springfield.
Let me write that out for you.
No, that's all right. There's the only one I didn't recognize.
All right.
I sped it up a little bit. That way it won't quite take 2 hours to get through it.
Nobody else will write on that though, correct?
No, and I'm gonna make you a copy to show
I
you.
want to be sure nobody else, messes with none of my stuff.
Right. No, you're gonna get a copy of it so that you can look at mine, look at yours, and say they're the exact same thing.
All right.
In fact, I'll do it right now. We're gonna take the pages every time I'm up there. These recycled tablets in the basket. Just a second, I'll bring it right back. Take a minute, go through those page by page and compare them just to make sure that everything's good to go on.
Looks good to me, sir.
I'll take the original, if you'll keep a copy, that way we'll both have a copy. Put this in the file. So we're obviously, we're hearing tons and tons of rumors, right?
All right.
And I know Barstow is the rumor mill of the world. But in a case like this, should it turn into a homicide investigation, any question that I didn't ask doesn't get asked. Does that make sense?
I don't understand what you're saying, but.
Well, if I don't ask you, then somebody's gonna ask me why I didn't ask you later. You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
So when I ask you a question, it's not to be offensive, it's to get the question cleared up so that we can move on to another.
I understand. Yeah, I don't have a can.
One of the rumors that we're hearing is that you all had gotten notice from the IRS that you were being investigated for tax evasion. Is that correct or incorrect?
No, sir.
Not correct. And again, these are all rumors that people are calling in about.
That's fine. And where you can get a legitimate source, also about verifying everything. Right across the street here, after Gilbert Brown Company CPA does my taxes. He has for several years. If I need to sign a form to release all his documentation on me for that, you're all more than welcome to it. That's the easiest way for me.
These are
That's fine. Ask whatever you got to ask.
Have you and Crystal ever talked about breaking up?
I mean, obviously, we have fought just like any other couple, but in the last several years, I mean, that right, it's came up, but we've always found ourselves together moving forward. So it's mentioned, but it's never happened, and we've always found ourselves together moving forward.
Okay. I know she didn't work out of the home currently, but has she worked out of the home recently? That she had a job outside of taking care of rental properties?
Well, she took care of 2 young children, so she did some babysitting there at the house for some extra money. One little boy was about Eli's size, and other was, I don't know how old, but he was a little bit older. And I don't know how long.
Man does not appear to lie bit.
But she had worked at the store up the road from our house for the, I don't want to say anything discriminatory. I don't want to say for non-Americans, but they don't.
They're Indians.
I don't want to say nothing.
Convenience store.
Yeah, convenience store. She worked for some folks up there. I do not know that. I think it might be Sandy or Sandeep or something like that, but I don't know. She worked up at that gas station for quite some time, but that's been quite some time ago.
Was that before or after Eli was born?
I think she started there before he was born, and she did work some there after he was born. She worked for a pretty good period of time there, but it's been quite some time back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's 2.5. So do you think
he's a little bit older than 2.5? He'll be 3 in October.
Almost 3.
All right.
So you think it was a year ago or better since you worked there?
Probably approximately. I don't know. I would say give or take a 6-month window there, something like that would probably be pretty accurate. But I do not know the answer to that. I do not know. I just know that it's been a period of time.
Since you lived together, have you all always lived on Glenview?
That's the only house since Eli has been born. We brought him home from the hospital. We lived there.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the only residence. You all lived there when she was working at the, and when she stopped working at the.
When she stopped working there. There was, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 other girls that worked up there with her. I don't know their names. They didn't have a large amount of employees, just a few.
when you said you all had, talk about splitting up, had that been more recently, or was that before Eli was born, or had that been?
I don't remember the exact dates, but if you'll recall back in a couple of days ago when we had talked, whenever usually that had came up, she had always went to like Sabrina's house, or she went out with Brooke or to her parents for a short period of time, a day and a half. And after she cooled off, and we had a chance to talk a little bit, we always found ourselves back together. But it has been at times a stressful relationship. I'm not here telling you anything other than that. That is the truth, and that's accurate. That has been discussed, but we've always found ourselves together. We love each other very much, and that right there's the bottom end of it.
Okay, so knowing what we know now, this man is sitting there after he's done murdered, and now he's having it all covered up, and he's telling all these lies. He's volunteering lies that he ain't even being asked to say. So crazy. Sorry I couldn't tell you hello earlier, Callie. My little one, he was kind of demanding I come fix his YouTube. He's just as stuck to it as I am, I think. He decided to be a little night owl tonight, so yeah, that's why I decided to come on live so we could go over this interview. But anywho, I'll quit talking and let it play some more. I just can't believe some of the stuff he's coming out of his mouth.
Well, the reason I ask is because there are some people that she's associated with that are telling us that she had made some tentative plans to leave, like looking at an apartment at that store above the apartment above the store. I'm just trying to figure out if that was something that was ancient history or if that was something that was more recent.
Well, that's news to me. I don't know anything about that.
So when you all, let's say the last time you all had discussed splitting up, she didn't discuss any specifics with you about moving to an apartment or anything like that. Just that you all were having some issues and you resolved it.
Say all that again. Yeah, break your question. Break them down.
The last time that you all had that type of a disagreement, okay? The last time that there was the possibility that you might split up, did she specifically talk to you about moving out somewhere?
No, not anything. But she's never had an isolated point saying, "Hey, I'm moving here or moving there." I don't recall anything like that.
Okay. That was my question.
All right.
Just if she had.
Well, sometimes I know that you all do this for a living. Sometimes I feel like when you ask me a question, you put so many things, and I'm thinking we need to dissect it a little bit so I can answer each part specifically rather than put so. And I'm not sad for saying that to you. Put so much stuff in one. I want to break it down in a simplified, direct question rather than put so much information into one question. Try to answer one and have a bunch of parts in one.
No, that's fine. That's fine. What you did right there is just fine.
All right, I do what you ask
it a different way or ask
because I want you helping me.
No,
all right, that's all right.
That's no problem. We kind of already established the Kylie thing, but just so I'm clear on it,
All right.
you got home at somewhere between 5 and 5:30, probably closer to 5, right?
Yes, sir.
And Kylie was there.
I didn't go in the house at that time.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, I knew that whenever she was coming behind me, I knew that she was going to be there shortly. So what I did was I jumped on that little tractor. I knew I had a little bit of time, and I wanted to go up there. And fill it full of fuel, check, do all that kind of stuff, get my fuel levels right, so that I didn't have to stop. I've got, as you can tell, when you look at that list, I got so much stuff to do. I don't have any unaccounted for time. I'm wide open. If I stop for a few minutes, I go backwards, and I don't have time to do that.
So so you didn't go inside, so you don't know if she was there when you arrived.
I don't know if she was there. She was riding with Crystal.
I remember when I first watched this and parts like the ones that we just listened, I have no unaccounted for time. I thought he is just trying to explain things away. I thought it made him look very guilty. I don't know if that's how the investigators seen it. I'm not trained. I'm definitely not trained in this, but to me, it made me kind of side eye him a little bit.
Crystal, I do not know.
And when you got back from gassing up the tractor, they were all there. Her and Eli and Crystal.
All four, yes.
Yeah, okay. And so all four of you were there. So during that time, the neighbor said she got home around 5:15, give or take.
That's right.
So from 5:15. And I think I mentioned to you that I see on the video that you all go past Circle K. You go past the storage place and Circle K all within a minute or so, about 5 minutes after 7, thereabouts, give or take a minute.
All right.
So let's say you left the house around 7 o'clock. Fair enough.
That's fine.
There's going to be a little bit of time, but I'm just generalizing. So she gets home about 5:15. You get back from the store. You all are there from, let's say, 5:30 to 7 o'clock together, the four of you. You ate dinner at home. I think you told me last time.
We didn't fix nothing. I don't know. We didn't fix nothing fancy.
Right. Sandwiches.
Whatever we did.
You guys leave to go to the farm, but Kylie does not go with you.
That's correct.
She stays there waiting on Kathy.
Kathy, her father's mother.
Yeah, Kathy Finn.
Yes.
Right. So she stays there. You don't know what time she gets picked up, but she's there when you all leave.
Yes.
Because that was one of the things. I think she got confused. Kylie, not Kathy. Kylie got confused about the time frames when I was talking.
But I can't speak on that.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't know
that's
that.
fine. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not confused.
All right, that's fine. What you said is my understanding of it.
So you guys leave, you go, presumably you go out Bloomfield Road together because you go past Circle K and not turn on Woodlawn Road. So you go out there, and then the next time I see you is when you pass Caddy Shack, the little restaurant there on 49. You go past there, and it's about the right amount of time for you to be traveling, you know. And then you get to the farm around, best I can figure out by the time frame on the video, is about 19 minutes after 7. So you're actually there, you know, roughly about 7:20. So
Okay.
Yeah, so I had this uncle, and I no longer have him because my aunt divorced him, thankfully. But he used to say, if I'm lying, I'm dying. And every time he would say that, he would be lying. And my grandmother would point that out. It was so funny. So, yeah, Brooks is definitely one of those. Definitely one of those.
So you get there. By the way, I twisted I guess it would be your aunt's arm. So we noticed they had the video cameras. That's why.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good.
So she actually helped you out with the time.
Good.
It showed you coming. Now, I haven't watched the full days yet, so I don't know
All right.
anything about comings and goings, but I know you got there about 20 minutes after and you left there about 11:55, thereabouts.
All right.
So during that time, from reading your statement, you left once and went down almost to Loretta Road and then turned around and came back because you decided the Tractor Supply might be closed, right?
Yes.
So that, you know, a little bit of time there. How long were you at the farm before you went to get feed and then came back, decided that it was too late? Do you remember?
It could have been long.
Because you were going to feed cows, right?
Yeah, it could have been probably more than, I don't know, maybe 50, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay. I'm just trying to get an idea so when I watch the video, you know, I can kind of look for when you're coming out and then you're going back.
Yes.
And when you got to the farm, do you know if anybody was there other than your mom?
I don't know.
Did you see your mom when you came in?
No, we didn't stop up there. We went straight down there. We were going there to feed the cows.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, but the barn's within eyeshot of the house.
But sometimes she might park inside. Sometimes she might not. So I don't know if
Right. She got more than one vehicle.
she's got a little red truck and she's got a white, and then she's got a white SUV.
Okay.
But I can't. That 15 to 20 minutes is as close as I can, and that's a guess. But I'd say it's pretty accurate.
She, I think your mom told me she had been mowing grass. Do you know if she was mowing when you got there? Or
She's always outside doing stuff. She's more of an outside person than inside, but she likes to mow grass. Sometimes she'll mow it whenever it don't even need to be mowed. So, but no, I don't recall her mowing if she was mowing. But you know, there's a lot of area there that if she was mowing, that I could have pulled in and not seen her, but I don't believe she was mowing.
Yeah. Okay. And it's not all that important. I'm just trying to get an idea of what was going on.
All right.
So there, I noticed when I was out there yesterday, it was. So there's a bulldozer in the drive.
Mm-hmm.
There's a tractor, actually 2 tractors in the barn, right? There's a tractor with a bucket and a tractor that looked like maybe it was leaking hydraulic fluid. Maybe somebody
Or attachment.
Yeah, maybe an attachment.
All right.
So while you were out there Friday, did you operate any of that equipment to take care of the cows, or how do you normally?
No, No, when you feed the cows, you just get the sweet feed and you haul for them, you shake a bucket, and because repetitious, they know to run. They know.
I know you fed hay.
Yeah, if you're talking about in the wintertime, you have to have a tractor that can handle. We don't do square hay. I mean, in the wintertime, we're going to have to handle a round bale,
right?
And that's done by tractor. That we're not going to. You can roll them by hand. You got 4 or 5 guys. I mean, we're not going to do that. We're going to take a tractor and.
But I'm talking about Friday. You didn't operate anything.
No.
So you just fed them out of the bucket.
Yes.
And
now Aaron probably he's out there raking hay and stuff. He might very well have done that. I don't know if it was Friday, but he's been out there the past 2 weeks doing hay, and I don't drive the equipment because that's not what I do. Aaron takes care of all that, and he bales the hay, he cuts it, he does all the mechanical work on it.
Yeah, so he is so relaxed that I apologize for the noise. I have a toddler close by, but he's so relaxed that he passed a lie detector test. I mean, yeah, he's definitely confident in himself sitting here lying.
Out there, and
now who is Aaron?
The person that does all the work out there.
But I mean, is he related to you all, or is he a farmhand, or what is he?
Yeah, he's the city mechanic right up here for the city of Bardstown, the bus garage. He does all the mechanics and does all the inspection reports for the city of Bardstown bus school system.
Right, but how is he connected to your family?
There's no blood relation. We graduated together in high school.
He did.
Yes.
Okay. And so does he get the hay off of your farm, or
5 of the cows out there that are out there are his.
Oh, okay.
So what he does is, whenever you look at this paperwork, I've got so much stuff going on. I'm not a farmer. I enjoy farming, but I don't farm. So what he does is an added benefit to me. He takes care of all the fencing, all the labor, keeps the equipment running. If it's round bales or busting ice and stuff like that in the wintertime, he does all that. He's got the time. He gets off early at 3 o'clock in the day. So he will come out there, and he knows about the mechanics. I'm not a mechanic, so he'll go out there and cut all the hay and prepare for the winter. He uses his time to do all that, to use the grounds out there for his cows, because he's only got about 7 acres here in town, and he wants to keep growing and expanding. And a way to do that, I don't have time to bush hog and all that, so I would rather keep up with the grounds. I'll let somebody do that and participate and let them, I don't charge them no money.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Right.
So
But
it's
he took out that
yes,
one.
it's a good trade-off. Absolutely.
But he wasn't there Friday, that you said.
No, he wasn't there Friday night.
When you were there, right? Not before, I don't know,
Yeah.
not before, but when you were there, he wasn't there. So you all fed the cows with the buckets, and watched them eat. And then you walk, now when you said you walked the road to the grab, you're talking about not just to the turnaround that goes
No,
right
that's just, we walk to the back.
to where the old county road goes to.
Where I put, yes, exactly. Where the road gets a little harder. I mean, it's still, you still got a car on it, but there's a little bit of grass in the middle. Yeah, we
And that's what goes, when you get to the, if I'm.
The video is sped
When
up.
you get to the turnaround here.
It is sped up. No, they're not talking that fast. I've got it on 1.5. If that bothers you, let me know and I'll slow it back down. I just always listen to stuff a little faster like this because they have so many silent spots.
The house is right here in the north here.
there.
Yeah, right here is where, yes, and it goes back there far. And there's 3 big pens back through there. There's 3 separate fields where we rotate the pasture and stuff.
Gotcha. And you said you walked from field 1.
Yeah, let me just make it real clear for you. Is this, can you put this in your paperwork?
Yeah,
Right? I didn't write that, but
No, I drew it out for somebody else.
this is the barn. And then, of course, the fence does something like this.
Right, kind of gives an angle off Mom's place.
And then it goes all the way back. So somewhere right in here, this is a double. This is where we go in right here, is where we enter the field, because this is barbed wire, and then over here is kind of an octagon's 8, but it ain't 8. This is like a pin after that we can move in. There's some columns and stuff in here. And then I think right here, that field separates and then there's another gate right here. So this is number 1, and then way up here, this is number 2, and then number 3 goes a far piece back through there. So we go through this gate, and then the gate from 2 to 3, the other gate's up here.
Right.
You know what I'm?
Yeah.
And then there's more food in field number 3 than there are on these other 2, because these 2 are 8 down close. So a lot of times, and it's cooler back there in the ravines and holler for the cows than if they're on this flat land, and they would rather stay cooler and eat back there. And they're in a big pond back there. There's a little pond for them for water supply too right now. So more often than not, they go back in that third field, but like in later in the evening, a lot of times we're consistent at the times, and sometimes we're not. But a lot of times in the evening, they'll drift up here thinking they're going to get some feed.
Right, for the sweet feed, right.
Yeah.
Can anyone tell me why he would need to tell that detective? I feel like he put it in so many unnecessary details. It's aggravating.
So you all, when you all went for the cows, though,
Yeah, we went in this gate right here, and then we walked all the way back
all the
through
way
there.
through. So because they weren't in field 1.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you fed cows, what else did I read there? Sorry. I'm doing all kinds of crazy stuff. You fed cows, and then you come back out and you walked the road, right? The road that goes to.
Yeah, after we come back out from walking through here, then we walk out to here, which is, there's another. I see your pin again. So there's another. It ain't exactly straight, but it looks something like this.
That's the driveway.
Yeah, this driveway to the barn,
Right.
and then we walk out the road. We just walk back through there.
And how long would you say that road goes back into there? Do you know? If you had to guess.
I don't know. I bet it's a good mile.
From
right
the
here.
barn to the end of that road and back. So a couple mile walk going to and from.
Yeah, if you go, because there's a cul-de-sac right here. There's also a cul-de-sac I put in up here, and then there's a third cul-de-sac at the very end, back creek back here in the very back.
Oh, okay. But you think it's about a mile, maybe?
I would say
a little
close,
bit.
yeah.
So you walked to the end of there and came back. Did y'all do any work on the barn or anything while you were there?
No, we didn't do no work on that barn.
Didn't work on the driveway or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
The dozer, the reason I ask is because the dozer that's sitting there, did somebody use that to put that driveway in or put rock on that driveway recently, or?
No, on Saturday, I moved it over there. It was parked. That dozer, I've got a skid steer also broke
Yeah,
down.
right.
I've got a skid steer right here with some weeds growing up around it.
Yeah.
And then I had a dozer. The dozer right here,
Mhm.
and I did, I backed it right across here. Right here, and there's been a water coming in the front. There's a big door right here in the front of the barn,
Mhm.
and water had been going in the front of it right here.
And then I moved, and plus I wanted to, she's always complaining about.
He's drawing
is always
pictures.
Complaining about.
I can't with this man.
The trash and rubble, she likes to keep everything clean, she likes to keep the grass mowed short, but I'm not gonna pay a high bill to take that stuff to the county dump when I can clean it up easy. There's too much to do all at once, but I can, every time I come out there, I can throw a match on it or burn a little hot. Eli likes to roast marshmallows, so what I do, and we spend so much time after, what I do is put a pile, and I'll light a little piece of it on fire. And then that way I don't have a huge fire, but I've got enough that I'm constantly getting rid of something, and they won't charge me to that high density fee out there at the dump. So I'm gonna take all this equipment, this skid steer too. I just haven't drug it over there yet. And then all these trucks, the weeds are high. I'm gonna try to get it on both sides of these doors, just to get it out of there.
Did you learn anything Friday night when you were out there?
Yeah, yes, it's not I don't want the stuff piling up to the middle. I always light a fire. There was a little pile, probably, I'll write it on there. Right here with this little pile here. I think y'all may have covered it up. Y'all got
I think we did.
stuff everywhere, but
Yeah, I apologize.
It don't matter.
Well, the dog, that lady's dog, she said acted like there was something under there.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. So I had some water problem right there, and I'm in the process of getting that right there fixed. We dug out right there in front of that door, trying to let a vein of water come out because it's too low. The slab is.
And that was Saturday?
That was Saturday when I did that.
Do you remember what time Saturday you got out there?
Mm-hmm.
Was it before lunch, after lunch?
Oh yeah, it was well before lunch. It was morning time, but it wasn't early morning. It wasn't late morning. It was about mid morning.
So you had a little fire. When was that? After you took your walk or before you took your walk?
I lit it. I don't know if I lit it right before we took off walking. I know we fed the cows first because I want to do that as quickly while we had still plenty of daylight. I don't know if I lit the fire before we walked back here or right when I got back. I could have done it either one. I don't remember.
So you lit the fire. I'm assuming then you probably don't leave until the fire burns out.
Well,
would you leave it burning? I don't know. I generally don't like to walk.
Yeah, but if it's just a bed of coals,
I mean, it's not like burning.
I would leave if I thought there was any danger. Not especially when I got all this
Right,
barn and stuff right there. But I mean, if it's died down and it's just a big bed of coals, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
So especially if it's not in August or September, everything's just perfectly dry. It wasn't. The ground's wet and dew's on. Yeah, it's not a big deal. To me, I'm not a firefighter, so.
But you definitely moved the doors.
Yeah, moved the doors on Saturday.
Is there a septic system with that barn?
There is. It's never been hooked up. There's never been a toilet put on there. But I tell you who put it in there, and he can tell you exactly how 100% was. It's Casey Ballard.
Casey Ballard did.
Mm-hmm.
And Casey Ballard, is that her?
That's her brother.
That's what I was thinking. So he put the septic. Is there?
A definite red flag. Sorry if you guys hear a little noise in the background. Like I said, my toddler's up, so yeah, he's being a little noisy. I'm trying to stay muted, but I think I unmute sometimes and don't realize. So if you hear some crazy noise in the back, it's just a wild toddler.
Is there like an opening somewhere where you can access it?
Oh, yeah.
Maintenance and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Where would that be at?
There's a big pole out in the middle of this in field number 1 right here.
Uh-huh.
There's a great big pole like this right here.
Uh-huh.
That marks the end of it. It's got one big ladder, big pipe on it, and it's marked out there so somebody will crush it with a tractor.
So the opening for the top of the septic tank?
No, the top,
you're talking about the ladder line.
Yeah, it just daylights out.
Right.
There's a big, underneath that, right where this fence is right there,
Uh-huh.
there's a big round lid right here.
Okay. Next to fence for field one.
Mm-hmm.
And how long has that septic system been there? I noticed the work
Probably
kind of ongoing.
Probably about 3 years.
3
years. I just never did finish that barn, because I've had so much other stuff going on. But in that barn, I kind of got a little.
That's why we were putting the cedar plant.
I never got done with it, but I'm supposed to get it done. I just never made it that far.
Right.
But yeah, right where that little plumbing, that little bathroom is, right on the outside of the barn, there's a big the septic tank right there, and then there's a great big long piece of pipe right here, a bleeder valve, and then it's marked. There's a big pipe. There's an iron T-post out in the middle of this field, and then I took a piece of PVC pipe that's weather resistant, and I just slid over top. It would stop the post from rusting, and it's also much taller than the grass.
I wonder how much of this he's explaining away because that's areas where they used to cover up the crime, because I don't know. I know a going theory is that they move stuff around for many, many years. So I wonder if he's trying to explain away a lot of that too, but definitely a lot of unnecessary details.
So that if the grass did get up real high, somebody would hit it with a bush hog, would hit it with a mower or something like that.
All right, so you guys you're taking your walk. The fire is down, maybe not out, but it's down enough, and you're leaving and it looks, again, looking at the video, looks like it's about 5 minutes till midnight.
All right.
That's to me, and I've got a couple of kids, but everybody parents a little differently. To me, it seems a little late to be out on the farm with a 2.5-year-old. Where is he at midnight? Has he been asleep in the car for a while? Is he still
No, he's
awake?
still wide open, and anybody he's so used to sleeping so later in the morning. His normal day, that's his 7, 8 o'clock in the evening.
Really?
11, because she sleeps much later in the morning. She stays up. So like, yeah, it's always been that way.
So he's like at midnight.
He's wide open.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys get back and load up in the truck. Excuse me, load up in the truck, and you drive back. You leave out. I see you leave out the driveway at 11:55. Somebody passes you on the drive back on the red road about 10 minutes after midnight or so. He says roughly. We're still kind of narrowing it down, but roughly sees you about 10 after midnight, which wouldn't be uncommon. It's been raining most of the day. You know, roads are kind of wet. 15 minutes from your mom's house to the golf course. There's Caddyshack. Not a big deal there. And so do you remember, or did you go straight home on Friday night, or did y'all stop somewhere? Or, because I'm thinking if that's their normal 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, it might be dinner time. Did you stop and eat something, or did you go straight home?
We did not eat anything. I went straight home.
Okay. So you went straight home. So if we assume that he's correct in about 10 minutes after midnight, another 10 minutes to the house or so. So you
Yeah, I don't see it being that late. I mean, if that's what some of the things say, I guess you'd have to kind of go by that. But yeah, we didn't stop anywhere. We went straight home.
So you could feasibly be home by 11:30. You can be home.
I feel like
Which is what you told me. You thought,
Mhm.
or I'm sorry, not 11:30, 12:30. You could feasibly be home by 20 minutes after 12 if he
Right.
passes you at 10 minutes after 12.
All right.
Which is a little off from what you originally told me, and you just said I still think it's a little off, but we'll go with what the camera says as opposed to memory, because sometimes memory's not that great.
All right.
And I check the time on her camera, and I'm allowing for about a 9-minute gap there between what my watch says and what her camera says.
All right.
So which puts you leaving there by 11:55, which, again, 15 minutes to Caddyshack is not terribly bad in the rain. So it could have been that he passed you at 10 minutes after midnight, putting you home roughly 20 minutes after 12.
All right.
Fair enough?
Yes.
So you guys get home 20 minutes after 12, or thereabouts. I think you said you went to bed first. Do you remember about how long you were home before you went to bed?
I went to bed immediately.
So when you guys got in, you went and did your nightly routine, and you're going to bed. I think you told me that she stayed up, and Eli, did he stay up as well?
He was.
And where was she at?
If there's any activity going on in the house, he doesn't want to go to bed. If everybody turned the lights out and we just got into bed, he's going to follow us and they're lay down with us. But if I go to bed and she stays up, he's not going to come in there to bed till all the lights are out and then she goes to bed. If I was doing something like and she was in the bed, he's going to stay up with me until the lights are out till I go in there. You see what I'm
Sure.
Yeah. So that's
So
what
he's gonna stay with mom. Right. So before you went to bed, or as any conversation, I think you told me that you all had a conversation Friday evening sometime about the kids. We'll talk about that in a minute, but you said you all talked about the kids Friday evening. Does that conversation bleed over to when you get home, or is that conversation done?
No, whenever I got home, I went to bed. I mean, it was relatively, quickly when I got in there. The conversation does not bleed over.
Okay. So you go to bed, she stays up. What's she doing?
She's just on her phone playing. I don't know what game, but she normally plays a game.
Right.
Sometimes she's got several of them on there, but I don't know which one.
So she's on her phone, messing around, doing whatever, and you go to bed. Do you know what time Eli came to bed, or she put him into bed?
I don't know.
Don't have any idea.
I normally go to bed earlier than that, so when I went to sleep, and I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, I wouldn't have noticed if he crawled in there.
So you said you're a pretty heavy sleeper. So your phone is getting phone calls. I can see it on your phone logs before 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning. Do you hear that going off? Do you normally keep it in there?
Yeah, but I don't have to. At that time, I've got an alarms on my phone at 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock. Sometimes I've got them at 4 and at 7. But my alarm most mornings goes off. I always have it for 6 and 7. But I'll wake up before my alarm goes off. But that's not time for me to get called really early in the morning.
So what time do you think you got up on Saturday morning?
I probably woke up around, in between that time, like 6 or 7 o'clock, and then I left. I did my normal thing, change my clothes, put my clothes on, and headed out. Shortly after that,
Well, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you something. There, on the phone records, there appears to be a phone call around midnight
All right,
on Friday night, Saturday morning.
All right.
On your way home, basically.
all right.
Do you know who that person was that called you around midnight? Do you
Yeah,
remember
no,
talking to a phone call?
Can you just call the number back? I don't.
I mean, I could. I could.
What's
I
the
could
phone
get
number?
your phone.
Yeah, look at my phone. I don't remember
You
that.
don't remember getting a phone call on the way home? Would it be unusual for you to get a phone call at midnight? I mean, it is for me, and I work for the sheriff's office. I get calls quite regularly.
Some of the people that do the tile for me, I wouldn't put it past them to call me at any time. They lay brick through the day, and then they're tiling my houses at night. The Thomases I wrote on there, Derek and his brother Tyler Thomas, they'll call me at any time. I've got it, even if it's just one day, I don't pay them people by the job. They got to get paid by the hour, and when they get done with it, I pay them.
Right.
That's just what we've agreed on. But yeah, those folks there call me any hour.
It was a pretty short phone conversation. Is the only reason I asked.
Mhm.
Kind of unusual to get a 13-second phone conversation at midnight. It is for me. It may not be for you. But,
All right. Well, just check it out. Yeah, check it out in detail. That's right.
so Saturday morning, you wake up sometime between 6 and 7. I think we decided that Danny Singleton, is that his name?
Mhm.
A guy that works for you, was calling you. He called you pretty frequently. You said you sometimes you give him incentive work on Saturdays,
Yeah.
and that may have been why he's calling you. So did you go do some work Saturday morning before you went to your mom's house? Before you went to the farm? Or what did you do Saturday morning?
No, I didn't. I didn't do any other work on Saturday morning. That's where I went out there to the farm.
Mhm.
I don't know exactly what time I got out there, but that's what I had done.
So you get up between 6 and 7, and where's Eli at when you wake up?
He's next to me.
He's in the bed with you.
Mhm.
Okay. So you get up. Does he get up with you?
He still sleeps whenever I get up, but I go to the bathroom and all that kind of stuff, and he's still sleeping there on the bed.
And so when you wake up, he's there, but Crystal's not.
She's not.
Okay. And so did you try to call her, or?
Yes, I noticed that she wasn't there. I didn't know exactly what to think. I don't know what time I called her. Yes, I called her that morning.
I mean, did you call her before you left the house to go to the
I don't
farm?
remember what time I called her.
But do you remember where you were at? Were you at home or were you at the farm? Or you were on the way to the farm? I don't know, somewhere in between.
I don't recall. I don't know.
That's right. So you, before you go to the farm, you feed Eli breakfast?
I not before we got there. I normally get those squeezable yogurts with all the vitamins and minerals and stuff in it, and he likes to eat stuff like that for breakfast. And it's easy; he can do that in his car seat or whatever he's got to do.
Oh man. Oh man. He just says stuff that it makes no sense. Like that detective didn't know what a Go-Gurt was.
So you think he was eating on the way to the farm?
I don't think he was. I know he was.
Um,
Now, how much of the yogurt he ate, I don't know.
I'm not worried about that. It's not a question of what he ate or how much he ate. I'm just trying to
Well,
establish
he's a healthy boy.
a
I can tell
pattern
you.
of behavior
Right.
from that weekend. And here's why. I'll be honest with you. I have been all along. Will continue to be. If I woke up on a Saturday morning and my wife wasn't with me in the bed, as is normal, which might not be normal for you, I don't know, but for me, it would be normal, particularly if my wife's a late sleeper, which mine is as well on Saturdays, for her to be there in the bed when I get up. So if she were not, probably the first thing I would do would be to call her to find out where she was.
But what you're not aware, what you're missing is a lot of times that her and Brooke, her sister, or Sabrina, a lot of these girls that they do all these, they go out and do stuff. Sometimes they do these. This is going to be embarrassing for me to talk to you about, but I'm wanting to get everything cleared up as quickly as I can. They do these fantasy parties. All these girls get together. They talk about and do whatever, and it's not uncommon for them when they go out and party. They stay out the better part of the night, if not the whole night. So, and of
I don't even know like what kind of stories he's making up now.
course, I always have the children, during that. They don't take the kids to that. Matter of fact, I take care of some of their other children while they're the ones going. It's not uncommon because they know I don't get into all that stuff, and they know that I'm a man. Don't get me wrong. Understand that, a white-blooded American male, and there's no sense. I'm not telling you anything different, but they do all these parties and order all this stuff. Well, who gets the kids? I'm good enough to get the kids.
A white-blooded American male. That was always, I swear I'm going to get that on a t-shirt. That's what I said when I first heard this. A white-blooded American male.
Kids for all this, and I'm a good enough person to do that. And then when everybody sees a little bit of distress, they're going to throw me under the bus. They need to re-examine all these other actions, and I can understand the family wanting to vent and stress, and it makes perfect sense to me. But these people know me better than what's going on. And before this is all over and done with, you all are too, but it bothers me because not only have I been a victim, my mind's not even where it should be because I'm trying to protect Eli from this. And he's the most important person that I'm trying to protect. I don't care about them dragging my name through the mud right now because I'm going to keep the main focus and emphasis on bringing her back safely and as quickly as possible. But it really bothers me what's being done in the method that everybody's pursuing and doing. Because what's going to happen is I don't want their apologies. I don't want nothing from them. But then after this is all said and done, they're going to sweep it under the rug, and then they're just going to forget about what they've done to me in the process. What I've got to be faced with now is as good a mother as Crystal's been. Now, nobody's going to love you like a mother. Now, Eli is in an atmosphere where I've got all the hope in the world, but now I'm a single parent, it appears to me, where she's been there 30% of the time for him to raise and rear him, where I know that he doesn't have to go to a daycare or a babysitter, and I know that his mother's going to take care of him. And now, where am I at without that love and support from her? Now I've got a little boy who's 2, who's going to grow up his life. If something's not done where she's not brought back safely, now one of the very most important people in his life, he's got to grow up without. You see what I'm saying? And I'm in here answering a bunch of bullshit that I'm doing the best that I can possibly do with, but it's taking a lot of energy and effort away from the other efforts that could be out there trying to help and bring her back here safely. I can't even go out on the side of the road without looking like a murderer or something like that's wrong. I've been extremely honest with you all, and now I'm up here doing, they can have the house, y'all take anything that you want, you don't need any of that paperwork or search warrants, and now I'm up here trying to get my head where I can be on the side of being able to protect myself and defend myself for my son whenever I'm the one that's, I feel like has the largest loss.
Yeah.
So do what you got to do. I'll do whatever I can, but this is starting to get silly. I don't need an attorney. I haven't asked for an attorney. I don't need none of that. I'm innocent. I'm willing to talk to whoever. But this to me is really starting to get silly because I feel like I don't have a Facebook page. I don't have time to get on the internet. I don't know a lot about computers. Crystal did all that for me. I didn't have to do it because that's something else that she always took care of. So now I have people come back to me telling me that they're completely trashing me online for the whole media. You know, I've taken 17 years of my life, and I feel like I've gotten worked hard to get a good education. I've worked hard all these years. I've built a nice life for me and my family, and now my whole family's name is trashed for something that's completely not even tied to me. That's where I'm at right now. So I'm extremely upset. I've heard over it. I try to put on a tough shell on the bubble and move forward. It's extremely difficult to get up in the morning and push on and look at Eli and know that here I've got a million things going on that I have to get done. And then who's going to suffer? He is, and it's not right. I'm ready to hire an auctioneer to sell all this stuff so I can be there for him like Chris. What else do you want to know?
Take a minute. It's all right.
No,
It's fine to be upset. I understand. It's fine to be mad. I understand that too.
he's there asking for everybody. It's a shock to him.
I wish I could tell if he really had tears or not.
It's okay to be upset in their family.
Yeah, but their emotions are just a shock right now. I can understand it, and I don't. If that's how they want to be.
Oh yeah, that was fast, dude.
What they're mad about is that her cell phone that I took away from Ashley because her mother told for me to take it away from her. That's what they're mad about, and it's just been a spiral since then in October, and ever since then, their attitude towards me and everything is so wrong for punishing a 16-year-old girl when she's not hurt, she's not hit, nothing like that, and I'm the worst person in the world for having any, and I understand I'm not her dad, I'm not her disciplinary figure. If she disobeyed her mother, I followed a direct order from her mother. Mother couldn't get it from her. I took her cell phone from her, and it's just been hell ever since.
That was the whole thing about the wrist.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, they took her up to the hospital and did the same with CPS and all this bunch of garbage. They ruled it unsubstantiated or however they wanted to say it. No bearing or whatever. When you pull the reports, they documented it all. You can get all that stuff too.
You want some water?
No, I'm good. Let's move forward. Whatever you need, I'm here to give to you. I'm innocent. I don't need an attorney, so I'm good. Ask whatever you want to ask.
Well, if we can just continue the conversation, and I don't want to rush you. Take your time. I think we left off around about Saturday morning. So you guys got up, and she wasn't there. So you and Eli got ready and went to the farm. Did you go anywhere else before you went to the farm?
I didn't stop at McDonald's or nothing to get any kind of breakfast because he had that yogurt, that squeezable
Yeah.
breakfast, whatever. I don't know, whatever. Someone's still in the refrigerator if you want one.
So you went to the farm, and was your mom there Saturday? You remember?
I didn't stop at the house up there either that morning.
What do you do with Eli while you're working on the equipment?
I'm usually not one that works on the equipment. Sometimes I might drive some of it, but yeah, if I go on that little tractor, he rides in my lap.
No, but I'm saying you shouldn't work on the drive in front of the farm there. So
Yeah, but no, he's got 5 or 6 tricycles and big wheels and stuff like that. He plays on.
This isn't about your parenting skills.
I understand. Yeah, but
I'm not asking you about that. But if you're working on the dozer, is Eli in the dozer with you, or is he out playing in the yard?
I'm not really working on the dozer. He's got 5 or 6 of the tricycles and big wheels, things that are at the barn. And if he's not out there with the cows or something, he rides them little toys around. We got them down there in the barn. We got them out there in the driveway. It don't take a lot to entertain him. A lot of times he pedals or does whatever he does.
Sure. But how long would you think that it took you to fix that area? You said it was checking on water there in front of the barn with
No, I don't know. A lot of times on Saturday, I just use that as a place to vent and get away from what I call the city, not just like Bardstown, the city, but all the city stuff that goes on, loud music and all that. Out there, you hear crickets.
Yeah.
You don't hear a lot of people. So I go out there a lot of times just to get away from the stress of all these tenants and stuff, calling these new construction contractors and stuff. It's a kind of a little vacation away from home.
All right, but you told me earlier that on Saturday you fixed the spot in front of the barn where the water was going in.
Yeah, if the water's not, if it's not been like raining a solid week or whatever, you can't really tell if it hits and misses. Sometimes if we get a substantial amount of rain, you can kind of tell where problems are, like, and And I could tell, so that's just what I did. Just
Right.
piddle, just nothing important, just piddle.
But would Eli normally be in the bulldozer with you while you're operating it? Was he in there with you while you were operating it?
He's drove, but not that more there he wasn't. But yeah, I mean, he has been, and he's drove the bulldozer before. He drove all the tractors out there before.
So that morning, did you say mom was or wasn't home? You don't
I don't remember.
So you don't know that he was out riding on his tricycles or whatever. When you said in the driveway, you mean the driveway for the house or the driveway where that you're
Say
working
it again
on?
now?
You said you were working on the driveway in front of the barn with the dozer, right?
Yeah,
And you said he was probably riding on tricycles or something.
yeah, I'm sure he's running on the.
I wonder if these driveways are on the properties where they've had searches at previously. I know there's a lot of information in these Bardstown 3 cases that I don't know, just because I came a couple years late into the cases. So, I seen this after the fact. I didn't watch it all go down, and it's hard because there's a lot of information and that, there's a lot out there to sort through. But I just wonder if that's one of the places where they had originally served.
On the concrete slab, it's easier for him to pedal on the slab than it is outside there, and I can see him better. My visibility's better if he's in there than out here.
Right. So he was here by the barn and not over by the house.
No, he wasn't.
Gotcha. Okay. So you guys finish up whatever you're
Maybe
gonna do.
later that day or something, he might have went over there. The chicken might come in, or he might have done something with them. I don't know. But it's not uncommon for him to, the chickens out there, they can be fast, but they're not scared of people because he plays with them so much. But you can catch them pretty easy. I mean, he treats them like a cat.
So you guys, any idea how long you were out there?
It was a good, usually on Saturday, I'm not in any kind of a rush because I try to take, I usually try to take it easy on Saturday.
So did you eat lunch out there?
I don't know if I ate lunch there. I know I ate supper out there at Hagen's house that night because he had everybody over there at his house for about, I don't know, maybe 150 people over there at my mom's brother's house. We went out there for a short while, it wasn't real long. I know I ate there. Eli ate there. I don't know what we did for lunch. I can't remember.
Did you go from the farm to Fabian's or?
I don't know if I may have went home and taken a shower from being out there on the farm. I don't know if there smelled like a bunch of cows.
Sure.
I may have went home. I'm not sure. I don't know. I may have went home and took a shower and then came back. That's more than likely what I did, but I can't remember.
Okay. So then sometime Saturday evening, you went over to Fabian's house. Do you remember around about what time that was? That would have been 4th of July.
Yeah, that's no, we were supposed to go to that.
Mm-hmm. Did you all stay out there for fireworks or?
We didn't stay that late. I know that there was a bunch of people there that I hadn't seen in a good while. My mom's a pretty large family that I hadn't seen. I wanted to see them, but we didn't stay out there real late.
Do you any idea how many times you've called Crystal at this point? By the time you went from getting up Saturday morning until you were going to the family.
I know I called her back around maybe noon again the second time, and I don't know what the exact time I called her after that, but I know that sometimes in the past, if I called her to blow her phone up, it made it worse.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I've just called periodically, and I found that she doesn't take as much offense to that. If you're just disrespectful to them, especially if somebody's mad, it just makes it worse. To
right.
Call them. I wasn't even alarmed. I was for sure the girls were doing this to me on purpose.
Oh, he'd hate to be disrespectful, huh?
So while you're at the family gathering at Fabian's house, anybody ask you where Crystal was?
Mm-hmm. She hadn't went out there to Fabian's house a whole lot. Some of the people knew her, some of the people out there wouldn't have known her, but broke in. I don't
Not
remember.
really a big deal for them.
No, it's something that those people there we see once sometimes every few years. A lot of people really hadn't. Some of them have seen her, and a lot of them have not seen her. Haven't met her.
Sure.
So like I said, it was a substantial amount of people.
You're out there. Did you say you didn't stay for fireworks?
No, we didn't stay that late.
So you and Eli leave before dark. Mm-hmm. That's usually when people set off fireworks on the 1st of July. And do you go home? Do you go to somebody else's house?
And that was on Saturday.
Yeah, that was Saturday. Do you go to mom's? Where do you go after you leave it?
No, I think we rode with my mother over there.
So Fabian's house?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we rode with her, and then I went home after that.
So you rode back to mom's house with her, and then you didn't stay at mom's. You went back to your house.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know the exact timing and all that, but I do know that I rode with her over there to Fabian's house.
Okay. And you left her house and went home.
I don't know if I stayed there any period of time or not. I may have stayed there just a little bit. I don't think very much, but I might have stayed there a little bit. I'm not sure.
I mean, you didn't stay the night there.
No.
Did you go anywhere else after you left mom's house before you went home?
Not that I can remember. I think what would be a good idea for folks is to put a darn camera. You think I'm joking? I'm being serious. You try to go back through this. I need to put a camera in your vehicle up there in front of you, just live on tape, and then you.
Well, I'm not asking you to recall every detail of your life, bro. But I'm just trying to.
Well, it would help me if I could.
But listen, I couldn't tell you what I did 2 days ago. I couldn't tell you what I did before I started investigating this because I've been investigating this for 3 days.
Mhm.
You know, so I'm not asking you to remember every single minute, but you know, and I realized that it wasn't a big deal for her to be going for you, but you know, most people can remember, you know, most of the things they did during the day, not every single minute, but you remember going to Fabian's house, you remember leaving Fabian's house, going to mom's, right? And going, so if you went from mom's house to home, you'd eaten dinner at Fabian's.
And I don't know if it was her mother. I met her mother at the gas station somewhere. One of them days.
Mhm.
Her mother, Sherry,
Mhm.
Crystal's mother, Sherry, and I don't know if Ashley was with her and other kids were with them, but I stopped at right in front of Walmart where I get a bunch of fuel at up there to that Murphy station across from Lowe's right there.
Right.
And I was on the phone with either Ashley or Sherry, one I forgot which, and they said, I tell you what I've done too. I talked to Brooke on the phone at the farm. I talked to Brooke, her younger sister, before I left because I was heading into town to get fuel at that point. So whatever time that I talked to Brooke, you'll know that I left.
Mhm.
So make a note of that.
You
I talked to Brooke on the phone. That's when I was leaving the farm on 49. And I drove in 49. And then I made it right there on 150 went up there to Walmart. And then I got on the phone with Sherry or Ashley when I don't know whose phone they were on. But that'll help me right there because that's you can pinpoint an exact time. And then I pulled in there to that Murphy station.
Mhm.
And then Sherry came up there to my window.
Okay.
And asked me if I'd seen Crystal. And this right here is after I talked to Barbara Lane and I called her a couple times. I don't think I got an answer. She's probably busy doing something. And then I sent her a text message. And after I kind of stayed on her, she knew that it was serious because it'd been longer than normal when she'd done this before in the past.
And this was Saturday?
I'm not sure. You have to. So much stuff happened also quick. You just have to dissect. That's the reason I'm giving y'all my stuff.
Sure, yeah.
You can dissect all that, figure, get an exact time. So I called Barbara and I sent her a text message. I talked to her mother at Walmart, up at that Murphy gas station. I had Eli with me then, of course, I had with me all the time. And she wanted to look at Eli. She said, "Where's Eli?" I said, "Right there." And then she spoke to him and she looked at him and said hi. And he said hi, and that was it.
So she just asked you where if you'd seen Sherry and you told her
No, she asked me if I saw
Crystal, sorry.
Crystal.
My name's confused. So Sherry asked you if you'd seen Crystal.
She's the only everybody else stayed in her vehicle, and then she walked over to my truck.
And when you told her what I haven't seen her, don't know where she is, and she just said okay and asked
No,
you.
she thought that the wisest thing for us to do was she said she was going to go to the police station.
Okay,
So I told her that I think at that point I'd already talked to Barbara, I believe, I'm not sure, Barbara Lane, and I'm not sure how to tell the time periods. I don't know. I just don't know.
That's fine. So
Then I went home
so Saturday you went home after
to the gas station.
so you think that was okay, so you think the gas station was between leaving the farm and getting showered up before you go to Fabian's?
No, that's incorrect.
Okay. You said you were leaving to go get fuel.
Yeah, I did leave the farm to go get fuel. I don't know. I don't know if that was Friday. I don't know if that was Saturday that I got fuel. I'm sure I did it with my card. I can prove what time that was too.
And
So I talked to
maybe
Sherry.
Saturday? Do you think it was do you think you talked to Sherry the same day they reported her missing? She said
Yes, she said yes. The day that yes.
So they reported her missing on Sunday.
Then it was Sunday. I feel like whenever. That's because Sherry told me she's going to the police station.
Mhm.
Is Sherry the one that reported her missing?
Mhm.
Sherry's. All right. I had a question from the media or from the news that I wanted to ask you all. Think about you all said that a family member found her car. How does that happen? Rather than the police department, as large as this county is, a family member.
Well, that's a pretty big family, and as I understand it, someone who knew them called them and said there's a car that looks like hers on the parkway, and they went out there.
Who was the family member that found that car?
I don't know if it was notes. There were two of
And
them.
am I able to know that question, that answer?
I just had to look back through my notes and see who it was. I'm
That's
not
all right.
straight either, but I want to say that it was. I'm trying to think. There was.
You can look back at it. I'm sure.
I want to say it was a brother and nephew. I know we took elimination prints from one of them because they touched the car before we got there. So we took elimination prints from them like we did from you to rule out any prints that we found in the cars being that person.
All right.
So I want to say that it was one of her brothers.
She only had Casey's.
So I want to say it was her brother and maybe her dad that went out there. But I think it was her brother that somebody actually called, but that may be incorrect. I'll have to look at the notes.
Right.
But so
I'm not sure what went on.
You're starting to get concerned.
There,
about
that-
Yes,
Call Barbara.
yes, exactly. That's the reason I did call. But before then, I wasn't alarmed. She'd done this before.
Right.
And I wasn't alarmed. That's all there is to it.
So you call Barbara,
I knew I gave Barbara Lane more credibility than Sabrina, Brooke, or any of them, because I know them young girls, if Crystal tells them not to say nothing, you ain't gonna be able to beat it out of them.
right,
And them girls are, they're listening, yes, they're just not, especially to a guy, if they're fighting, they're not, and I'm smart enough to know that, but I knew Barbara would say, hey, she don't wanna talk to you, or she's fine, just leave her, give her some time. I knew Barbara wouldn't keep me, she's a mature woman. You understand the difference in what I, so she would at least, I feel like, let me know, hey, where I wouldn't have to worry.
So StreamYard is acting funky and my little one's getting restless. So I'm going to go play with him and let StreamYard work out their issues. Probably come back on later in the day when I finish up the interview. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to finish it right now. I appreciate everybody that stopped in and I appreciate everyone that's watching. If you're watching the replay, leave me a comment below. Guys, have a good rest of your morning.